All right, hello, welcome to 2025. And what I'm working on right now is I'm gonna make a smuggler's box lid that goes up and down, hydraulics, maybe electric, I'm not sure. Either way, I've got to make a frame for it, and that's what I'm starting to do now. So I've got the measurements laid out on my jig table, and it ended up being 19 by 41 as the main square. And once I get the square done, I'll go to the car and I'll show you what I plan on doing to hook it up to the smuggler's lid. Okay, so I'm just gonna weld this up, and I'll see you in a minute. There it is, all welded up. I'm gonna bring it over to the car, show you how I plan on fitting it. All right, back at the car. This is what I've been working on. Boring, haven't been filming it. Just skim coating the bodywork here in the bed. Got tubs all done. Everything's taped up, trying to keep dust out of the interior because that's got a nice paint job on it now. I've been working on where I shaved the drip rails, just kind of flushing that in, and then at the corner here, just connecting it. Got a little bit of a divot there I got to fix up, but then it'll look like this curve goes up, around, and then it fades out at the back here into the B-pillar there. So front's all taped up. Again, you can already see dust on the plastic. It goes everywhere. So I'm trying to keep it down to a minimum. All right, back to this smuggler's box. Okay, so here's what I'm doing. The idea here is I'm gonna weld in all the holes that are on it right now that you see, but it'll eventually, I'll be able to hit a button and it'll come up, and that'll allow me access to my battery and trunk space. So what I did was I measured from where I'm going to put the piano hinge up here. I measured from there back to the part where I'm going to have a 1 inch by 1 inch square tubing is what I made this out of, so I need to allow that to sit in. So that distance from the outside to here was the 19, and then from the inside of this point all the way over to that point is the 41. Okay, so that's the rectangle. What I'm concerned about is the center, because I've taken out that beam that's normally in here. So I'm going to need at least 2 pieces running across here, so when I put a motorcycle in this truck car, what do you want to call it, that it's got support for the front wheel. So I don't want anything kind of bowing in the center. So I might do 2 beams across the center and then some kind of bracing out to the corner. So I'm just going to try and place it in, and hopefully I can hold this camera and show you how that looks. So those 2 blocks of wood represent the height at the front. It's a little high, but you get the gist. There'll be a piano hinge. When this lid is actually laid down on top of this frame I'm making, it'll all be welded in, so it's one piece, right? The brace will be part of the lid. There'll be a piano hinge at the front that allows it to open and close. And then at the back, when it's actually in its proper position, this will sit flush with the box. Okay, so that will actually come up, like if I can move it with one hand here, that will come up. There you go. Okay, so when it's on the underside of that lid, that's how it'll sit. What I've decided to do is perimeter frame the entire thing, and then when you take this apart, there are already holes through the center that used to bolt down. So what I'm going to do is weld these beams here across the center, and then when I flip it over, I'll plug weld all of those holes. The whole thing's going to be flush. There'll be no bolts on it, so it's going to look like a really cool one-piece box, I hope. So that's where I'm picking up. Just going to finish off this frame, then I'll flip the whole thing upside down, weld it all together, and then my plan is to send it out for powder coating. I'll have it sandblasted, the whole thing powder coated black, and then when the box gets Raptor linered, the top will be done in the matching color, and the underside will be black. We've got the Smuggler's lid on. I'm just gonna open it up, show you how it fit. Let's get in here. So you can see that I ground off all of those spot welds I did on the top. So as it lifts up, you can see the frame underneath there. So I'm going to be putting a piano hinge across the front, and then there'll be an actuator that comes dead center here from this point, and it will open it and close it on the piano hinge. So that's going to be pretty cool. My battery is going to be going in the back here, and it gives me some space to put stuff. So we're just going to take this piano hinge, cut it down to 58 inches. It's stainless steel, so I can weld it. On here you can weld stainless to steel, if you didn't know that already. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do, and then when it all gets powder coated, this hinge will be black, and then when I do the top, you won't even know it's there. It'd be very hard to see. So that's the idea. I want it to look like this lid was a factory piece, wasn't aftermarket modified, that sort of thing. That's the beginning of my Smuggler's box lid with the remote with the remote actuator. Have it go up and down. And I know other people have done this kind of thing. Thought it was neat. Good use of the space. Good day. Today I am tackling hinge pins on these Elco doors. And after fighting with a few different ways to try and get these pins out, I think I figured out the best way. So what I've got is the hinge in the vise here. And I'm using a socket on one end that's got the head. And then I've got a stainless steel drive pin that I just cut off on my bandsaw. And what I'm doing on the vise here is just cranking it in, and you can see it starting to move. There we go. You can feel it kind of get loose. So there you can see the pin starting to come out. See the spline shaft on that. So now I'm just going to try and pull it, or maybe hammer it from this side. Either way, that's the fastest way I've found to get these pins out, and then you can drive in the new ones. So hope that helps. It is another day here in the shop, and I think I will start with just showing you what I've been up to. First up, in the box you can see I've got the tailgate, so the skin's done on that. Just a quick sand on where I did the welding to cover up the Chevrolet logo. Got to do a little bit of bodywork on that, and some corners that came from the actual skin was dented in this corner, so I hammered it out before I put it all together. And so it's been wrapped around, welded all around the perimeter. So I'll get more on that. I have some filmed segments that I'll show you as well. Okay, doors. Having a bit of trouble here. So I did strip them all down, both sides. Both doors. Stripped down to bare metal. And what it revealed, we've got some Bondo, got some pinholes. You can see the gap here. Hopefully you can see this. It's pretty, if I pull it out flush, it's pretty good along the whole area here, and then it tightens up at the back here. So something's gone on in this corner. Maybe somebody's reworked it before. As I move along to the front, we've got similar issues. There's a lot of dents and waves here. Bondo, some dents, a little flare out there. So I've marked with an eye. I've got to come in on my hinge here. The top's good. So I was marking as I went out, you know, out, in, checked it off. We're good there. We've got good seam at the top. I just got to get the door to come in at the bottom. The big kick in the pants here was this new front fender that I purchased. Right at this point here, it's sticking out really far, and I noticed on the inside it's been hit. So when they shipped it, it must have bent out. So I've got to take that, I'll put it in the back shop, hammer that out, try and get it to come into spec. And there's a couple little things you got to tweak on it, like on the front here, just kind of elongating the hole where things don't fit. This one fit good, this one didn't. I've had that on most of the mounting points, just getting things to fit. And also the core support, using the stock one. Of course, these are aftermarket fenders, but stock core support. And then just getting the bracing underneath it to get it up so that the fenders line up here at the top. There's a lot of different gaps to consider. You've got you know, pulling in at the side, pulling in at the top, pulling in at the front. Then at the core support side of things, we're dealing with that as well. I'm sure I've showed it, but in case I didn't, yes, the motor's sitting in the car, albeit without a transmission. It's just there to add weight. So as I gap things, I'm not getting inaccurate kind of spacing. You know, you pull the motor out, things shift a bit. So just wanted to make sure it would be as it was when it's all together. So that's where we're at. Interior wise is pretty much the same. Been trying to get the steering column mounted and realized I was kind of jumping the gun on that. Just want to continue focusing on the panels. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pull this door off. I'm going to adjust that outer inner thing as I was talking about. Then I'll take the front quarter to the back, do some body work on that, kind of get it hopefully back in spec. I've hit it with 2K primer. I've just gone around and sanded it last night with 400, working my way up to 600 because it's a metallic paint. I don't want to see any scratches through it. Now my plan is the actual ribbed area of the box is all getting like rhino lined, raptor liner. Sorry, I keep calling it rhino liner. Raptor liner is what it is, and it's you put a little bit of pigment in it to get a color match. I don't think it's going to be a perfect color match, but it'll be green. And then the outside around the perimeter will all be glossy shiny. So I've just bagged off most of the car here to keep dust and stuff from going inside. All right, well, I got the base down. Unfortunately, had a few runs. So you can see the areas here where I've sanded it out. I could have left it, that area around the tub. There's a cover that goes on that, but I figure I can fix it, so I might as well do that. So I got a few areas here to blow in, and then we can get around to the clear. Success! The base coat is down, and I am just gonna get ready to do the clear today. So just moving along. I wasn't gonna do the bed because it's getting covered in rhino liner anyway, but I had a bit extra paint, so I thought I'd throw that down. I'm just gonna be doing clear around the perimeter on these sides, and whatever overspray goes here is fine because it's gonna get covered with that raptor liner. So I will proceed. All right, we got it done. It's cleared. Just finished up now. So we're gonna let this dry. And yeah, looking pretty good. Shiny, got a little dust spot here and there, but you know what, it's the box, and I can still wet sand it, buff it, make it look pretty good. that's gonna finish up this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I'm jumping around a lot, but it's a matter of getting things done and then thinking what's good to film, and lots of bodywork's been going on through the weeks. I still have to finish the gaps in the doors, paint the jambs, do this bed liner, and then it goes off for paint. So when that's done, there'll be even less postings, and then it's crazy mad reassembly before spring. So thanks for tuning in. Sorry it's been so infrequent, but you know, as I said, I'm trying to get things done as I have time and as I think it's worthy of filming. So anyway, I'll catch you on the next one, and thanks for subscribing. Cheers.